Center Heist Productions. It is March 3rd, 2024. This is to review the game last night on March the 2nd. Habs going into Tampa. Please first hit the likes and subscribes down below in your right-hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. That'd be a big help to me. All right, so let's go to it. This game turned into quite a game, went into a shootout. Habs can hold their heads up high. They played quite a respectable game in this game. Shows a bright future. A lot of work to still be done, but shows a bright future. Also shows detrimental future coming towards Tampa, whereas they are definitely coming down the pedestal big time. So anyway, this game starts off very spirited game. Mario Armia scores the first goal, assisted by Gooley and Newhook, and Jake Evans gets one, assisted by Gallagher. And second period, so the Montreal came out in that first period, so that was quite something that they came out with a 2-0 lead. You knew, though, however, Tampa was going to change the results of this game and respond because the Habs had outshot them quite a bit in the first. That did turn around in the second, as Braden Point, of course, scores, assisted by Stamkos and Kucherov. No surprises there. Anthony Cirelli scores the second goal to tie it up, assisted by Hagel, who had a strong game. Actually, all three of those players had a strong game. Tied at 2. Then we go into the third. They credited Josh Anderson to this goal. I don't agree. I've seen this a few times over, and to me, it's Cole Caulfield's goal. I did not see where that made contact with Anderson. Maybe they need to slow the tape down or something, but yes, he screened the goaltender, but I think that should have been the Cole Caulfield goal myself. Anyway, either way, it's a Habs goal. Puts us up 3-2, but of course, the Habs couldn't hold on. And of course, a shorthanded goal is scored again, rearing its ugly head. This one was on Nick Suzuki. This shocked me. He gave an errant pass, trying to get it to Matheson, and it didn't get there. It went to Mott, and Mott took it all the way down the ice. No one could catch him. He scored. He made no mistake. And he went 5-hole on Primo. First, we went into the shootout. Hagel got stopped. Suzuki got stopped. Point got stopped. Caulfield scored. It was looking good. But, of course, Stamkos scored, too, and he's pretty darn good in the shootouts. Then Armia could not score. Kucherov couldn't score. And then Yolonen couldn't score. And Iceman couldn't score. And Slav couldn't score. Hedman scores. Waugh couldn't tie it up. So they won the shootout, which, again, here we go. You know, the bottom dollar being it was one of those games where the Habs played a solid game. But again, gaining the point, which I was hoping they'd just outright lose. I know I originally thought it was going to be 6-2, or 5-2. I was definitely wrong on that one. However, I guess, you know, you watch this game and, you see that this is not Tampa of old. And I think it does make a difference that Sergachev wasn't playing. I think with the way he plays, he puts quite a pounding on players, and he's dangerous. So anywho, good solid game. We had our penalties were in the game where Eric Chernak roughing against Arber Xhekaj. Chernak got a fighting. Arber got a fighting. This wasn't much of a fight. Xhekaj ate him for breakfast and spit him out. And then, so it was nice. Xhekaj by far was the top half last night as well. He had a great spirited game. And then we had second period. We had Brendan Gallagher taking a cross-checking penalty. And then we had third period, Mitchell Chaffee boarding against Savard. Then we went into overtime, and Cole Caulfield takes a hooking penalty on Hedman. And that was kind of stupid. Not expected of Caulfield. Anyway, they managed to get out of it, but it kind of burnt any chances in the overtime session of us having good quality chances. Anyway, so the stars of the game, they gave it to Mott because of his winning goal. I don't think he, by any chance, was the star of the game, or the tying goal, in my apologies. I don't think he was the star of the game by any chance. I think there were several players who played better. I think Hagel was a standout for him, and I think Cirelli had a pretty solid game as well. Also, Stamkos played fairly well. Caulfield was the second star. I don't agree with that either. And Cirelli was the third star, which I would have, seen him at the first. Those first 2 stars, I don't like the way they line up their stars. Arbor Jack, I should have been in that mix. Should have been Luis the second star. I don't know how Caulfield got in there. Anyway, shots or the goals. It was 2-0 in the first period. Then the second period was 2 goals from Tampa, and then 1 apiece in the third. And then in the shootout, 2 for 6 for Tampa, 1 for 6 for the Habs. And that was the way it ended. That way, shots were 31-30 for the Habs, 49% face-off, compared to Tampa's 50.9, very close. Power plays 0-0. Penalty matches 9 apiece. Hits 24-23, close as well. Good physical game. It was very chippy. Block shots 13-16 for Tampa. Giveaways 7-1 for Tampa. And takeaways was 12-6 for Tampa. So Tampa definitely outplayed them in that department. So, although, like I say, this was a very close game. That goal by Joel Armia was just gorgeous. He's been, again, we all have criticized him majorly, but again, I'll reaffirm that statement. Since he came from Laval, he's played much better. He's outplayed several Habs to this point of the season. There's several guys that need a wake-up call, and for Joel Armia to stand out more than certain players, that's telling you how weak we are. The team, though, by far last night had a good. I can't really knock anyone majorly last night. This was a solid team game. Everybody played fairly well. You had odd mistakes here and there. That Suzuki giveaway to tie the game was uncharacteristic of him. You just don't expect him. There always seems to be one of those a game, that we end up, someone makes that type of errant pass. Something we got to get over and be a little more, solid on what we're doing out there. However, good solid game. This was a physical game. There was a lot of chippiness going on, a lot of cheap shots. Good to see the boys were standing up for themselves, seeing a lot of character. And that makes a difference when Arbor Jack is in the game. And to me, by far, again, I'll say it again, he was, to me, the best Canadian. Slav had a good, solid game, and was definitely willing to mix it up. And that's what I like to see out of the kids. A lot of kids don't show that. Like, for me, that's the one area, like Yalone, and I just don't like that part of his game. I don't see, he just lightly dances with somebody, but there's no aggressiveness. He's got to get that eye of the tiger. And that showed in, like I said, you've seen it in the rest of the players. Like Suzuki was right there as well. But Jack, I had it going on all night. And standing up for his teammates, even when Savard got belted, he was right there. Any time someone else got mishandled, they'd mix it up with somebody small. You seen him grab on and yank onto the player. Come on, take me. And him and Chernak wanted to go again. I don't know what the case was with Janot not being there. Maybe he was just not somebody they wanted to put in the lineup. They must have put him in the lineup that game prior to where Jack-Eye made that took that errant penalty just to get back at him. But he wasn't in the lineup, so it looked like Chernak took up that role, and he played physical. But Jack-Eye was pretty solid. I'd say the defense was pretty solid. Gooley Matheson. There was a couple little errors on that pairing in that game. Other than nothing huge, though. Solid game by all of them. But who do we have next? I don't even know who we have next. Anywho, I will be back for the next following review. We will take it from there. But the Habs can hold their head up high. They're starting to. They're definitely showing. They're not. Marty's not going to allow this team to just flop. And so I don't know how well we're going to do in being in the top 5 in draft picks. And I almost think Hughes has to have a conversation with them. I got no problem with your team playing solid, but we need a good draft pick. And this team is playing the big teams very well right now. And it's kind of scary in that regard. But I mean, you don't want to have a losing culture either. It's a hard one. What do you do, right? But I think if they can play like this in the future, standing up for each other, there was so much camaraderie that was what you would expect from your club. There was no everybody stood up for each other. They were just in there, and you almost thought that this was a real chippy game. And it was chippy against Florida too. So this is 2 back-to-back real chippy games. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this way all the way through. That's what my curiosity says, right? So that's pretty much the end of that game. Again, I think everybody pretty much played pretty solid, very average. Not much more I can say about this game, other than we will be back to review the next game, and we'll go from there. So that was it, and unfortunately I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I want to thank you for joining me. Where's the puck drop first? There's not much more I can say. This was a really well played game. Primo looked half decent in this game. Again, though, I was kind of shocked that in the shootout, Tampa didn't end it sooner, because if you have the write-up on Primo, all you got to do is go high, and Stamkos so darn smart. That's all you had to do. And Hedman did the same. So common sense, go high on Primo, you got him beat. I didn't like that second goal on him. He flopped around like a seal. I know it was a bit of an outplayed, a couple players missing their assignments, but for him to get to one side, he just looked like a seal, flat on his belly. And those are the type of goals I don't like seeing. I wasn't impressed with that one. That one I thought he could have done a better job. And I think it shows his positioning in the net still has to improve. All right, although, again, the Habs made a couple mistakes, that was for sure, but they played a very respectable game. We can hold our heads up high. So we will catch you in the next review, which I would imagine will probably be Tuesday is what I'm thinking. I'll have to look at the schedule, but or Monday or Tuesday, I would say. Anyhow, we also don't forget we have the trade deadline coming up, and yes, there's been some movement with other clubs. Nothing huge. So I would say don't expect a lot from the Habs Friday. They're going to try to hype you up, these reporters, and I just don't see anything happening from our end until we get to the draft. So thank you for joining me. We will catch you. Where's the puck drop first? Here at Center Ice, and we will catch you in the next review. And God bless. And yeah, we'll be probably doing something extra with the trade deadline coming. All right. Take care. God bless.